All right, guys, we're working on the 68 again. We are getting the floor done still. We got the transmission mount done. It's just being painted, right? So it's heating up and warming up and all that because it's cold out here. And so we're heating up the paint, heating up that. It's sitting by the wood stove. I'm working on the clutch, trying to get that going, because if we can get that going and the floor done, we can throw a seat in. The drive line will be here next week, and then we can actually drive it. So hopefully
that's what we're dreaming.
Yeah, hopefully we can get the clutch done today and the floor done and maybe even the transfer case in.
Tim was out here early, got the fire going, so I really appreciate that. And this is working out well. We're actually getting a couple days in this weekend. And so, yeah, hoping to make some progress. We'll take you along. All right, on to the next thing. We're pulling the heads off, or the exhaust manifolds off of this because we've got some better looking ones. They're clean. The threads are all nice on them. And these are pretty rusted up. So we're going to swap those out and then start connecting up the exhaust. All right, everybody. We are underneath the truck, and we are getting ready to put the transfer case in and the trans mount and all that stuff. So we've got everything kind of dolled up and painted a little bit so it's covered, and with our chassis saver, and we're ready to move on to the next phase. So that's what you're going to watch us do, is slam the transmission or transfer case back in and get everything starting to mount it up.
trying to make a clutch mount on the block.
Show our viewers what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
All right, I'll come back to you in a minute.
So this goes in this little hole right here, and it sits like this, and this goes and pushes the clutch, and this goes up to the pedal, and there's a rod that goes there, and it pushes it like this. And so we have a mount right here for this side, but this side, this is all we have, is that. So I'm making a bracket right here that we can weld this to, like a nut or something. That way it just weld that on, and then this will just bolt on, and then we're done. Then the clutch is done. Just
Sweet.
have to bolt it in.
All right, so making more progress. Here, the air compressor running in the back. I've been inside grinding for quite a while, so I'll show you. I'm getting most of it. I mean, I'm getting there. It's not going to be perfect, but again, we're not making a perfect truck here. So, like, there's certain areas that I'm just not going to worry about completely getting. See a hole I missed right there. But anyway, so we're getting close. We'll hit that with a welder. We've got a little bit of welding underneath to do to get it all polished up. Hopefully we'll get it into the spot where we can get it lifted for tomorrow, and then we'll try and get all that done tomorrow. Paint on all the parts, get it hanging, so that we are ready for the next phase, which is driveline, wiring the engine up, and as Tim said, hopefully driving it next week. So hang in there with us, and we'll check in a little bit. Our engine stand's going to change colors, or our this is probably going to need a couple of coats to get this really good. Okay, I'll stop there. All right, so as you guys can see, we have actually built a couple more components. These are the brackets for mounting our clutch in the 68 truck. Tim's actually fabricated that. He's modified this one over here, and he'll show you here in just a second. But we are at Primer Sealer, getting some paint on them, because what's next for us is a little bit of primer sealer underneath the truck and some undercoating, and we are almost ready to start bolting this thing together. So a few more pieces and parts here, and then we're going to start slapping this thing together once this paint's not sticky. Tell us what you're doing when you get to it. It needs to go down more, doesn't it?
Huh?
Oh, you're just going to cinch it and then we'll drop it? Okay. So what Tim's doing right now is he's getting a block set in so that we can hang the transmission, because excuse me, the transmission mount is still being still drying. It's not, we haven't finished it yet. So he's in doing that. Switch out my hat. And so he's getting that block set up down here, and we're strapping the bottom of the tranny. We'll drop the jack so it'll hang on this, and then we are going to lift the truck up in the air so we can get underneath, finish the welding on this floor. From underneath, there's a couple of braces in there that we got to finish up, and so that is the plan. Going down.
Yep.
All right, so we got the floor tacked in, pretty much all done from the top. I've got some grinding done. We've decided that just based on where this behemoth is at, we are not going to go for a super refined finished product in here, because we're going to throw some black paint on it. and it may even get carpet at some point or a floor mat or something. So right now we're getting it sealed and structurally sound, but it won't be perfect. So when I show you, don't freak out. I know it could be better, but this is what we got. So as you can see, we got her all tacked in around the side, looking nice. It came out all right. And basically, we raised the floor up an inch to make room for the new transfer case that is out of the wrong year, and it just doesn't fit in there. It won't fit in where it needs to be underneath the floor with the motor at the right level. And so we've got that raised. Transfer case will fit right in there, and everything's going to work. So Tim's just about done here on the front. You can see we altered the bracket here and here to get the angle just right, so that the clutch, I don't know what they call it. It's a clutch assembly. It's a swing arm that transfers the rod from the clutch pedal and draws it up and pushes the push rod into the clutch fork arm that's down there. And so we had to make a few slight adjustments. Again, was not designed to be on this truck, but we're going to make it work. So there you go. And we're going to weld that in, actually, aren't you? Just tack weld that beast right there. I wouldn't push down. I would not make it tight, Bubba. I'd put it right to where it's just touching and tack it right there.
That's higher than it was, but
That'll work.
okay.
That's pretty freaking straight. I just tack that, and then we can pull that bracket off from the inside and we'll weld it in. That looks great. That'll work. That'll work good. Clamp that to the motor, like right here. Well, that's kind of loose. Something like there, or on the manifold. All right, that should work right there. Because your motor is going to get you your best ground on that. Because all those bushings in there will be problematic for you. All right, random video, not paying attention anymore. I'm gonna turn this one off. Hey, we're back from lunch. I got Tim and I here in the shop. We are. He's already got paint on the floor, and we've got the transmission mount bracket is back in, and so we are getting ready to throw some fluids in, and then we're going to switch to trying to piece together from all of our extra exhaust pipe that we have laying around here. We're going to try and piece together an exhaust back to the back and get that thrown in. So we'll take you along, show you what we're doing.
All right, guys, so now we are running into some old truck problems. The headers aren't coming off. We're gonna just swap them out because the other ones are cleaner. So we're gonna wait, and we're gonna get some oxyacetylene and get those heated up to take them out. So we're gonna switch back to the clutch, and we're gonna put that on because it's painted and it should be dry enough to put on. So we're gonna put that on. We're gonna put the steering wheel back in, and then we will put the seat in, and then we'll probably call it a day. But it's getting close. So once we get the exhaust figured out, after we put all this stuff in today, we get the exhaust figured out, and it could drive pretty much. So yeah, getting close.
All right, so we're actually hacking up one of our parts that we just made. And the reason is we did all that fabrication, we got it set in there, and it was off by just a couple of degrees. When we welded it, it must have pulled the bolt. We didn't have it really tack welded very well, and it appears that it pulled the bolt down at an angle where the clutch assembly that slides onto there and rotates, it just wouldn't go on. It was bound up too tight and wouldn't work. So we're cutting that. We're going to modify that and see if we can get it to work. All right, we are wrapping up for the day. Had a good day, got lots done. Thankfully, Grandpa just showed up and helped Tim and I break some bolts loose on the exhaust manifold, so we didn't ruin any, and we got them off tonight. I don't know, we didn't record any of that, so
No.
you'll have to call Grandpa and find out how to do that. So we're not going to share that trade secret with you. Maybe next time.
That's fine.
Anyway, we got a lot done. We got the seat and the steering wheel. Let's walk around real quick and show them the seat and the steering wheel. We got the clutch done. Tim's got the transfer case in. We got the transfer case mounted.
Clutch is in. Right there.
All this stuff right here. All of it's connected. Oh, we even got the vacuum cleaner in. Look, we were cleaning.
Yep.
Imagine that. Pedals are in. We don't have the gas pedal hooked up yet. Steering wheel's in. Seat is in. Even the seat belts are working right now, so we could literally push this down a hill and crash it, and we'd be safe.
Still a bunch to do.
Tons.
Like, under the dash and stuff. But, I mean.
We still got to put in the transfer case gear shifter that we got to fabricate.
Yep.
Driveline next week. And hopefully start with exhaust. So that's where we're at for this week. Really appreciate you watching and hanging out with us here on the channel. So remember to like, subscribe, share, and hit that bell so you get all of our notifications. And we will connect with you next week. You normally say see ya.
Oh.